again, like I said, it's kind of a bit of a disadvantage right there, not being able to do backwards compatibility or be able to use backwards controller ability. But obviously that should be expected. And again, like I said, hopefully Microsoft doesn't make this same mistake, like it's being rumored that they might. Another thing is obviously you can't transfer any game saves over to it like you could do with the Wii and the Wii U. I mean, the Wii and the Wii U obviously have channels that allow you to, when you click on them, when you connect both your Wii and your Wii U, you can transfer your stuff over to the Wii U, so that when you're playing your Wii games on your Wii U, you won't have to worry about, okay, I gotta start all over again. You'll be able to do it. So obviously that's a huge disadvantage right there. That's another huge disadvantage. But again, Sony obviously, with all these other disadvantages they have, and I know Joe mentioned some others, and again I'll provide a link down below to what he said about it, to what Digital Spy says about it. But apparently Sony is banking on this being, as some people have said, the last shot at the console, at trying to win this console war, if you will. Because apparently it's going to allow you to share a lot of your things. Apparently you could, like Joe said, apparently you could play games and go on to video things and online and probably have somebody else finish it for you if it's too hard or something like that. Again, I'll provide the link down below so you guys can read it for you, watch the video yourself. But again, it sounds very ambitious, and right now some of the games, they do look pretty good. Some of them look like they can still pass as PS3, if not 360 games, in a sense. But things like, Killzone, Shadows Fall, and Destiny do sound like the titles that are going to sort of be the titles that, try to help put the PS4 on the map, and really help Sony win, as they call it, the console wars down the line. But again, it all depends on how well this is received. So again, I'm just giving you what I've heard Joe talk about and what I read on my iPod. So yeah, so you guys can kind of take it for what you hear. And again, I'll provide the links down below so you guys can read and watch Joe's video, and he'll probably give you more information on it than I can. But you could share. Obviously there's a share button on there, and again you can go on, do the social things and share while you're playing. One of the things Joe did say, which does sound cool, is if you can download games, you can download them when your console's off, and you can download them while you're playing. So that's pretty cool. I always thought that we already had that sort of with the Xbox, but no, we don't. What he's specifically saying is, let's say, the PS Network shop, the PS Store decides to upload PS2 games for you to download onto the PS4. So let's say they want to upload, I don't know, for example, I'm looking at my PS2 games right now. Let's say they want to, I don't know, let's say they want to upload Sonic Heroes onto the PS Store for you to download on the PS4. Basically what he's saying is when you start downloading something like Sonic Heroes, you'll be able to play it while it's still downloading. And it'll be able to download when it's like powered off or kind of like on standby or something like that, which is pretty cool. And I do agree with that. And the social thing, of course, is cool. The only thing he said about like I said about the recording, is that sometimes it'll start recording when you're not least expecting it. So like, let's say you're getting changed in the morning, you're getting ready to go out the door, or you're in your underwear, and all of a sudden, boom, the camera comes on. All of a sudden, you'd start recording you. You look up and you look up on your TV and you see yourself being recorded. You're like, I'm in my underwear. What the heck? You got to go turn the thing off. So hopefully that's something they'll improve on to make sure that you can time it just about the time I'm pretty sure you'll be able to time it when you want it to, so hopefully that's something they'll work on. when they start doing it. Before it's officially released. Now the release date, pretty much as a lot of you know, is holiday 2013, towards the end of this year. So we still got most of this year to kind of guess and see what we're going to get with the system, as well as we got E3 in the summer to kind of get a better idea of what we got to look forward to. Now, for me, am I going to get a PS4? Well, heck, I'm still trying to consider getting a PS3. How's that? And I'm being told by somebody in our town's Walmart that I might have to start considering laying away or looking at buying a Wii U down the line, because the Wii is going to slowly be discontinued in the next few years. The games as well as the system. So, I have to look into that. So eventually, financially, I will, when the finances get better for me and my family, especially myself, I'll probably start looking into like the Wii U and probably the PS4. And maybe if I start saving up my money, getting towards that time frame, I might just buy the PS4 when it comes out, make it a Christmas present to myself, and sort of have the new console just as it comes out. The only problem Joe says that he worries about, and I'm sure everybody else that's looking at this release date for the PS4 is worried about, is that Sony's rushing it. That Sony's going to do what Microsoft did and try to get it out before Microsoft gets theirs out, and by doing so, they're going to probably... this is what Joe's worried about, and he hopes this does not happen. I'm sure a lot of people are anticipating this, hope it doesn't happen. But basically, what he's basically saying is he's worried, along with everybody else, that Sony might be rushing it, and they might end up in the same category, the same situation that Microsoft was in when they rushed out the Xbox 360 when it first came out, and Xbox ended up with and people started complaining about all these red rings of death and malfunctions and stuff like that, to the point that you had Microsoft bring out another white Xbox 360 console, which solved those problems, and in addition gave you the hard drive at a lesser price, I think, and then eventually came out and fixed the problems even better with the Xbox 360 Slim, if you will, the black one that was announced about a year or two ago. So that's what Joe is saying, is saying that he hopes does not happen. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. I feel the same way too. I hope Sony's not going to be rushing this to the point that when it comes out, they're going to end up getting some customer complaints about, oh, we got this, it's not playing, it's giving us this red screen of death, it's giving us this, it's giving us that. So hopefully they're smart and they're taking their time with this. And apparently, if they're making, it's the way I look at it, a partial announcement about this, with just showing what the controller it looks like and what the game aims are going to look like, or what games are coming out, as well as what it can do. I mean, he's even saying it's going to basically allow your PS Vita, if you will, your PS Vita, your PlayStation Vita, to eventually act like the Wii U's controller, the Wii U's tablet controller. How it says you could, how Nintendo says, oh, you could turn off your console. I think you can turn off your console, I'm not sure, but you can still play your games. Or you can have somebody watch TV and you can still play your games. Something like that. I think it's where you can still play your games, but somebody can watch TV. Like, if my mom wants to watch her Hallmark stuff, I could sit down on the couch and I could play some Super Mario Bros. U. Or something like that. But that's what it sounds like to me, that what Joe was talking about, that's what they're planning to do with the Vita down the line, is they're going to plan to eventually integrate it into being sort of their answer to the Wii U's tablet controller, if you know what I mean. But all that aside, all that stuff aside, again, it is being planned for holiday 2013 release. And the thing, like I said, Joe's worried about, I'm worried about, and I'm sure anybody else that's watched this and heard about the release dates is worried about, is Sony rushing it? Are they going to rush it out too soon to the point that it's going to come back on them? It's going to cause them a lot of backlash. I hope to God it doesn't. Because, again, like I said, like I was trying to say, it sounds like with this partial 2-hour, whatever, how long press conference it was, it sounds like, just by just showing what the controller is going to look like and what the possibilities with the Vita is going to be like, that it sounds like they're kind of taking their time. They didn't show the console yet, so it's kind of sounding like to me they don't want to, get people too amped up for the console just yet. They probably want to work out the bugs so that if there is a red ring or a red screen or whatever it is that comes up, they could fix it probably before E3 and before the holiday release, mostly before the holiday release. Because obviously they don't probably want any backlash, but we can only hope and pray that that's the reason why we only got sort of a partial look, sort of a sneak peek at what's to come, and probably get a full preview at E3 and everything. So I'm just guessing. It's just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think down below about this. Are you looking forward to the PS4? I mean, I know I am. I mean, I'm honestly thinking it's going to be around maybe the 400 range, maybe the 500 range. I'm not really sure. And if it is around the 500 range, what I'm going to probably have to do is save up 250 here and 250 there when the price comes out. I mean, if it is around the 500 range, which I'm hoping, then 250 here, 250 here. But if it's like around the 700 range, then it's going to have to be 250, 250, 200. I'm just saying, but anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm just hoping and praying they're not rushing it out, they're not rushing it, and that they take their time, and that